Hey everyone, just wanted to show you some new stuff at the shop. It's been a while, we've been remodeling on it a little bit. And if you've never seen the shop before, this is what my store looks like. You know, very small store. And some of the things, we put in some new iPads, we replaced discus with koi for the season, put in a little nano tank display, that kind of stuff. But the big addition that's not done yet, but would be all the bettas we have now. So now we house roughly 240 bettas. And as you can see here, we had these systems imported. And I'm going to kind of take you through some of the bettas and what's going on, answer some of the questions. Some pictures have been posted by customers and that kind of stuff, and people have a lot of questions about it. So, first thing to know, it's a recirculating system. So these 8 plus these 8 and these 8 and these 8 all go down to a sump. Now, I'm not going to directly look in this sump. We're going to look at it through a camera, but we do have UV sterilization going on down here. There we go. So you can see that on screen. That's the sump. And yes, we could, like the UV sterilizer, the way that works, could break down bacteria over there. But as you travel towards the end, not so much anymore. But we do run UV sterilizer, and we run salt in here, and that is to prevent any illness. Now that's the next thing we want to cover. So traditionally, bettas will have never been kept with other fish. So what does that mean? That means the way they're raised and everything, once they're old enough to put into a jar, they'll be quarantined there while they raise up. And they'll continue that entire journey until they get to us. And so this, when they enter here, is the first time they're going to share. So relatively, they come in without having any problems. So that's super nice. But we want to make sure that they don't fight and that kind of stuff. So another question we get is, can they see each other? They actually can't. We pull one of these kind of out a little bit. The sides are all painted black and the back is black. Also, you'll see there's a little piece of hose in the back and coming in through the top. That is how water, you can see water's coming in through there as I moved it, if it doesn't focus on my finger. So water comes in at a very slow pace because bettas like very slow flow. And then it will go out the back and down, and that's basically how this system operates. Now, some crud will build up because we're running bare bottoms here, so we get in there with a turkey baster and just suck that up a couple times a week as we're servicing. The biggest hassle, if you will, is feeding them all. You got to come in with little pellets and do each one, but we get to offer a huge variety of bettas. And I think that's something that not many stores do. There's betta stores, but not stores like mine that would typically focus on community fish and planted tanks, but then also install a giant betta section. So the more to come would be up here, blank walls. We're going to install some stuff so you can put betta products and other stuff around here, so that'll look a lot better. And then, kind of everyone, it gets almost daunting to look through all the bettas. At 240 of them, you lose track. So you can take pictures of which ones you like oh, I like CC5 with your phone, and then you can kind of dwindle it down, and when you finally got the one you want, you go up to the register, or you flag down one of the staff and say, hey, I actually chose Z7 because I was looking for a black crown tail, right? So we've labeled every single container. Each container, I think, holds, I want to say it's like half a gallon or so. If I could make the perfect system in the world, I would give them a little bit more space, but that system doesn't exist, and this is the best system that's used around the world. We had to import it, and I've been looking for it for about 6 years. I knew where to get it in Australia, but actually being able to afford it and going in on it with other stores and a wholesaler worked out nicely. So we have 2 sections, or 2 prices. So we have tons of bettas at $19.99, so everything you see in all of these will be $19.99, and then the back wall here is $29.99, and that's stuff that we have to just pay a lot more for, like this beauty right here. In reflection, but that guy is magnificent. And so yeah, it has built-in LED lighting, which is great, and allows us to display a lot of different colors, different sizes. Some people really love to buy a baby betta and grow it up. So these are baby koi. They're going to change a lot in color. Maybe you're looking for a 4th of July betta, and that's red, white, and blue. Same with this guy down here. And so the options are kind of I don't want to say endless because we don't have absolutely everything, but we recently went and handpicked a bunch. We're ordering a bunch in from overseas in Thailand, and my goal is to now start going to some of the betta farms and getting some extra cool stuff. But you can see here, some of the ones we handpicked would be, they're calling these black dragons. So all the outside fins are black and the inside is white. Those are been pretty popular. What else do you have over here? This is a really cool koi betta down here. And another really short fin, black as they're calling it. Oh, this guy is coloring up well for us. Or not coloring up well, but showing off well. So, yeah, that's, here's a half moon, big old half moon. But it would obviously take a very long time to show 240 of them. The other critique, or not critique, but question we get, do they jump? The answer is yes. At the very beginning, when they're brand new, they jump. So we put something over it so they don't jump right away, and after a day or two, they settle right down. So what we do is we put the newest bettas typically towards the bottom. We can cover that up, and then we will, as they're not jumping anymore and we have free space, we'll move them up, right? Keep moving them up levels. And we're working on a perfect, I want a nice, maybe a cover that says, these guys just came in, give them like a week, that kind of thing, let them be covered on the top. But we need to make sure we can feed them. So I'm thinking maybe some black egg crate to sit perfectly on here. And we can still put food in, and they won't be able to jump. And that being said, we're hedging our bets a lot right now. Anything with big fins can't jump nearly as well as something like a very short fin plakat. So, a lot of these, even these placats, are Dumbos while we're working out the system. In a perfect world, we'd make the containers a little bit bigger and we'd be able to drill them a little bit lower, and then they wouldn't be able to jump. But, the employees say maybe once a day or so, but we check on it all day long, mostly because people are buying them all day long. And, and there's people who always have questions like, what is this? What is this guy doing? Ooh, that guy's really nice. Yeah, even I could stare at a lot of these for a long time. He's fighting his reflection right there. You can see the bubble nests, so they're building bubble nests in here. Not all of them are doing it. Some are, some aren't. We can kind of flush a system. I wonder if I could show that on camera. I know I'm scrolling fast. I'm trying to teach as much as I can in a short amount of time. But in theory, I could adjust this valve up here. We could really let the water start coming through. Well, I think, so now we can see the debris is starting to move. Eventually that'd find its way out of there, but we don't want that much flow in for that betta, so we keep it a lot slower. Trying to turn it back down for him because I don't want to leave him overnight. I'm here at night filming after hours. But yeah, so obviously some of the challenges we're going to face, you can see right here there's a tiny bit of algae. And part of that could be A, the actual lighting we have here, or B, it's because we have light coming in through the window. So we plan to at least put graphics and that kind of stuff behind the walls here, all the way through here. And then we might shade up top to protect these tanks from getting excess sun. And we obviously don't want them to overheat. We're a lot of things to think about, like we have heaters in all of them because the window typically sucks out heat, especially in the winter. We think that's going to be a problem, so we're already working on that. And there's it's obviously a learning process. I guess I didn't show really how the entire thing is made out of basically ABS or PVC, and so it's it's extruded, right? So it's not glued together, it's just one piece. And then you've got this egg crate down here that you can see on the bottoms of them all. And that's, I guess I could push some back. If I can, there you go. So you can see it just sits on the egg crate, and then the water will flow back to the back of it and keep flowing down channel by channel. But the water that comes out of, let's say this one, just goes straight down to the sump. It doesn't go to the next tier or anything. It just slides all the way down the back into the sump. And yeah. So now I suppose, I'm just gonna take a bunch of B-roll and pictures and that kind of stuff of bettas, because you guys probably just want to see a ton of bettas, and maybe we'll start the video with that, I don't know. But you know, there's way too much to talk about and see, and so at 240 of them, well, our system's not quite full, so maybe it's only 210 or something. We'll see what we can do. Well, look at that guy, he's got a little mustache. That guy's pretty awesome. My wife wants him. I guarantee if any fish with a mustache, my wife wants it. So, all right, well, let me know what you guys think, and hopefully it works out well long term. Quite an expensive upgrade or system, and yeah, enjoy.